I think it's gone very well from our side. Numbers have been up year on year, which is ultimately what we really need to look at, especially in the light of the industry as a whole and the UK market.
But when you say up year on year, what sort of figures have we had here?
I think early indications. I mean, we don't know for certain until we have a proper manual count and go through everything else. But early indications are anything between 15 and 20%, which is, I think, it's indicative of the fact that we've moved the date line to being half term. I think the Wednesday and Thursday audiences were definitely up year on year quite significantly. And we've obviously put on a lot of features that are designed to attract that family market.
So, such as what?
Such as the slope that we have this year is completely different to how we've had it in the past. In the past, we've very much used it as a demonstration slope with professional riders. This year, in view of the half-term market, we've changed it more into a teaching slope whereby all ages, but mainly children, can actually get anything from a beginner lesson on skis and snowboards to a freestyle lesson, and also get on an airbag and have themselves sort of taught how to get the rotations in and various other things. And I think the nice thing about that is they're not being taught by average Stowe blogs. We've got guys like Billy Morgan, who just won the Freeze Festival, who's actually one of our snowboard coaches, so these kids can learn from people that are actually out there doing it at the moment.
And you mentioned the figures going up there, sort of 15-20%. I mean, here on Planet Ski, we sort of like to tell it as it is, as it's straight. It's good news.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I think that there's been, we've had a couple of years of decline.
Yeah, I mean, I think we should be honest, last year was disappointing, both from the numbers coming through the door and from the exhibitors saying they didn't really sell enough, they didn't see enough people. But this year, I'd say, from my point of view, things definitely move forward.
Good stuff. Well, I mean, as you touched on last year, we had a difficult time last year, I think mainly because of varying factors, whether it's macro factors that are economic or industry-wide. Also, we were in Earlsport 1, which is the only hall we actually could get the dates for.
But that's the bigger hall.
That's the bigger hall, and it's an older hall, and it just didn't suit the show, not in terms of size and also in terms of layout. We made a concerted effort to get the date lines changed this year, and also move into this hall, which for me is a much simpler and more open space for not only for the exhibitors but for the public to come in and actually see what is there, rather than feeling that everything's hidden away.
How much stress are you under doing your job? Must be a bit of a nightmare. I just think everyone's disappointed. You want more people coming through the door. Exhibitors moan about this, other people moan about that. People talk about some sort of glory days of 20 years ago that probably never existed. How do you cope with it all?
Ultimately, I'm a realist, but also, of course, I'm a bit of a perfectionist, and I probably still wouldn't be happy if twice as many people had come through the door these 5 days, just because I always want more people through the door, and I want more people booking holidays, buying kit, and getting excited about the season ahead. So, I mean, but having said that, you've got to look at it in the grand scheme of things, and things haven't been going forward as much as we'd like in the ski industry in the last few years in the UK. Hopefully, this is an indication and the start of a good few years whereby we can get back to some of those good days.
And the future? What future plans do you have for the London show?
I think we are definitely looking. We've got these dates for next year as well. So we're going to be half term again, and in this hall again. So ultimately, I think because it's been a success, we're happy to carry on with that and really build on what we've achieved this year. So things like the ice rink, things like the teaching slope, absolutely keep those because they appeal to and attract the important half-term market. If you're going to be in half-term, you've got to have things that actually are attractive to that sort of consumer. If anything, I'd love to go bigger. I mean, we haven't been able to satisfy anywhere near the demand on the teaching slope and the freestyle sessions that we'd like to. But
obviously, there's not enough room though here, is there?
Yeah, well, we could probably widen it, but all these things cost a significant amount of money, and the days of sponsorship covering our cost of build are long gone. So we'll have to see. But ultimately, we want to build on what we've got this year, work more with our media partners such as the Telegraph to ensure that we drive even more people through the door next year and the following years.
And what about the exhibitors? I mean, obviously some of them have dropped out this year. Snow and Rock's not here, Land Rover's pulled out as the main sponsor. A number of other people though have come on board. We're actually standing here at the Verbier stand with a good view around all the show. Verbier here for the first time in a while. You must be pleased to see people like them back.
I'm really pleased to see people like Verbier here. We've had some great conversations with other Swiss resorts, and also sort of more getting a bigger French presence next year, because this year it was slightly muted compared to last year. But I think the general feel on the travel side especially is that people like the change in the layout of the show. They like the dates change. You can see Norway here having a big presence for the first time, and they've been involved with the show before, but this is the first time they've actually taken on a big presence as Norway, because they understand the importance of launching and getting out there into the UK market.
Well, here on Planet Ski Team, we've criticised you in the past sometimes when the show hasn't been quite up to scratch, but I said I'll take this year, big improvement on last year, so congratulations on that. No doubt you're pleased it's all over, and planning for next year probably starts tomorrow morning.
Probably about 2 months ago, but there you go. Yeah, absolutely. But thank you very much, James.
Not at all. Pleasure.
Cheers.
Best of luck.
Thanks.